Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business here on this rainy Tuesday here in Northern Virginia. Boy, I had woke up this morning and I said I was going to move on and start focusing in on the Detroit Lions, who we play in 5 days, 4 hours, 47 minutes, and 31 seconds. But I'm going to go ahead and do one more rant. Shout out to all of you that came on the live stream last night and were part of getting that pound of flesh. Unfortunately, we don't own the Dallas Cowboys, so it's just basically pumping our fist at a wall. The offense for the Cowboys is broken, completely broken. We have scored in the last 10 games 13 points in the first quarter. Total, not in one game, over 10 games. And when we don't have a lead in the third quarter, we have lost 8 out of 8. And as I was doing the live stream last night, sit here, I actually have a TV behind the bar over there that I can see from here at the desk. And I had the Steeler Tampa Bay game on, and Tampa Bay almost made a comeback to win against the Steelers. But see, the Steelers, you got to understand in the NFL, desperation. The Steelers were backed against the wall. The Steelers, it was win or the season is over. So they had a lot more to play for than Tampa Bay. And they came out and they played like a desperate team. But even with that, Tampa Bay hung with them. But see, this right here kind of sums up the problems we have.
As he stacks to the near side. Switzer, touchdown. An absolutely masterful first half for Big Ben.
Joe's a thing of beauty, but they go in the bunch set there. Knowing they're playing man-to-man, and he's just reading it. It's so hard for them to pass that off. Switzer, that's why they traded for him. Ben was telling us his quickness in the slot, even a teammate of mine last year in Dallas. See it and react. A little quick option route for him. He can break in, break out, just going off of leverage. He's got a protector in the backfield.
Sums up the problem with our Dallas Cowboys. Ryan Switzer, a guy we traded to the Raiders for Ward, who didn't make our team. The Raiders, who they've got all kinds of issues there with John Gruden. God, I guess we dodged the bullet there. They traded him to Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh found a way to use him. Ryan Switzer, who hasn't been with Pittsburgh that long, has more touchdown passes than receptions and has the same as our Dallas Cowboys. That's bad. That's really bad. And that's the thing that you wonder with the Dallas Cowboys is we never seem to develop players on offense. Now, you can look at the defensive line, what Rod Marnelli's done with defensive players from, guys that you never thought much of, from David Irving and George Selvey. And, he's taken those guys and turned them into players. He's had them step up. But very rarely do we see offensive players, when they come into the Dallas Cowboys, get better. We usually see them playing better in other places. We had guys like Danny Amendola in our training camp. Couldn't use that guy. We had Marty B on our team. Couldn't use that guy. We had Dez Bryant. No, couldn't use that guy. So you see Jason Garrett, and he always talks about the way we do things. I'm trying to understand with the way Jason Garrett does things. I could understand if this was a proven track record where you consistently won and beat teams over and over again with your system. You know, you can look at New England, and New England is down right now. Maybe Tom Brady's finally hit that wall, you know, the age and stuff, or maybe the rift between Belichick and New England has finally reached ahead, and maybe it's time for them to make some changes. But you can still look and say, New England, this is the way we do stuff, and say, okay, this guy's won 5 Super Bowls. I guess we can listen to that. But when I keep hearing this, we're not going to make changes, we're not going to do things, it's not the way we do it, or they don't fit the type of guy that we're looking for. What has your system and your kind of guys done in the NFL? Because I'm not saying Ryan Switzer is an incredible player or going to be an incredible player, but you drafted him and gave up on him after 1 year and he goes elsewhere. It's the same thing with, say, a Brandon Wheaton, and I'm not saying Brandon Wheaton was the cure of all our woes, but he's the guy you had for 1.5 years in your system, and you couldn't win a game with him, yet he turns around and, you know, a week's worth of practice, he gets thrown in with the Texans, you know, and a half a game wins a game, and then the next week wins a game and gets them to the playoffs. We are so rigid with everything we do, and we see this with adjustments. They can't adjust at halftime. You can't vary from what you're doing. And with our offense, I'm just mystified, because the only bright spot right now that you can look at with this offense, because like my question last night is, who can you point to on our offense and say, that guy is doing an incredible job? But the only one anybody could come up with was Cole Beasley. Now, Zeke Elliott does lead the NFL in rushing, which is mystifying since he hasn't had more than 17 carries in any game. This is where I'm trying to understand the Dallas Cowboys' identity. For the last few years, we've been known as the best offensive line in football. You got Zeke Elliott. We're a running team. Yet, you only run the ball 17 times? And it's not like you haven't had some success, because right now, Zeke Elliott usually starts off slow in the season, his numbers. You know, last year he was under 4 yards a carry for the first 3 games. The first 2 games, he averaged 4.6 yards a carry. But again, had 14 carries and 17 carries. Last week, he averaged 7.9. I believe that 7.9 is more than what we've been averaging per pass. What I always remembered doing in football was when we had something that worked, we would keep doing it until they could stop it. Make no mistake about it. Right now, the passing game is atrocious. I don't know what happened to Dak Prescott. Dak's my boy. I love Dak. I believe in Dak. But it's just not working right now. But the best friend to a passing game is a great running attack. So if you don't seem to be able to pass the ball, if your quarterback is getting lit up and he's been sacked 11 times, why aren't we trying to at least run the ball more? Am I wrong on that? I mean, Zeke Elliott, it's not like he's injured. He didn't play any in preseason. He only played 10 games last year and was still in the top 10 in rushing. Our identity has always been to be able to run the football. And clearly that's the best thing that we've been doing on offense yet. Scott Linehan and Jason Garrett believe it's not the play calling, it's execution. Well, I agree with that to a point, but if you do things that they are doing right, you start getting that stuff straight, you start running the ball and at least getting in second and 5, 2nd and 4, it starts to help. It starts to force the other team to put 8 men in the box. It then starts giving you more one-on-one coverage, because then if you're able to run the ball, you can start doing play action. You can start rolling Dak out. You can do run-pass options. See, these are things that you do to try and help get your quarterback jump-started, because Dak's motor is not starting right now. He needs that jump start. But we keep, ever since, God, Atlanta, it seems like we're doing the same thing. Because when we played against Atlanta, once Zeke Elliott was suspended, we got away from running the ball. Even though Alfred Morris was picking up, 4.5 to 5 yards a carry, we still did the same stupid stuff where we only rushed him for 12, 13, 14 times a game. And that goes to play calling. So hopefully, with the time we have between now and 1 o'clock on Sunday against the Detroit Lions, the offense goes back to basics and works on running the ball. I don't care if we only throw for 100 yards. I want to see 150, 200 yards rushing, because clearly that's the first thing to get you on track. And the final thing I'll put towards this is, if you go back to the 2014 season, think about that first game against the 49ers. Tony Romo was coming back from injury, threw 3 interceptions, didn't look like he could throw the ball 25 yards down the field. And we started running the football out of necessity because we could not pass it. DeMarco Murray ended up with over 1,800 yards. He ended up with a 12-4 record. And you were a catch, no catch away from the NFC Championship. That's where we are right now. Dak and the wide receivers are not getting it done. Until they are ready to get it done, you need to be able to run the football. That's a fact. And if they don't start trying to do that and get back to basics, well, it's going to be a long season. I'm Mark Holmes with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo. Again, thanks everybody for being part of the live stream last night. It's definitely lively. If you are a Facebook person, and I know Facebook and YouTube are 2 totally different things, be sure to like my new Facebook page, Joe Boo Sports Report. With the problems and things with YouTube, I want to make sure that if we ever have a hiccup again, or if we do get the other channel, that basically I can go anywhere and still be there, because there are a lot of people who are looking for me, some that want to kick my ass, but a lot of people who like to get the Joe Boo Sports Report. So if you have that Facebook page, everything that I do on YouTube also goes there as well. So that way, 1, we can reach more people, and 2, you never have to worry about me not being there. And one other note, of course, too, the tailgate, FedEx Field. It's looking like we're going to be in lot orange right now, because that's closer to the stadium. That's where the solar parking garage thing is over there, and it's close to the entranceway. That's what we're looking at. I was going to do an RV, basically so that way we've got power and bathroom and everything right there, but we can't park an RV in that spot, so we'll just take a couple of SUVs. We'll have tents, we'll have chairs, tables, and plenty to eat and stuff. So if you're interested in doing anything with that, go to my Facebook page, Cowboy Joe Boo, and you'll see the event. And just go ahead and click on that and let me know that you're interested in going, or that you're going, because I want to get a count and see how many damn chicken wings and pork shoulders I got to go ahead and get ready for this event. We're hoping to have a great time, take over FedEx Field, and hopefully get a win. All right, guys, with that being said, I got to get to my day job. Thank you, as always, for being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report, and I'll see you soon.